by some very special guests as they celebrate the movies of the 80s. Tonight's dance sponsored by Old-To-Do Incorporated. Again, your Railsplitters dance team dancing to some special movies of the 80s, sponsored tonight by Old-To-Do Incorporated.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Delicious things to eat. The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
How many times that you probably count on one hand that they've actually attacked the hoop. And I think if you're Coach Franks, you got to find a way to make the Railers play some defense going this way. It's been a lot around the three-point perimeter, around the perimeter of the court. And when you go, what do you call that, east and west and not north and south, you're going to have some trouble against this 1-2-2.
Grunder in the lane, dumps it off to Drew Bacon on the outside of the lane. He pulls it back out. Starters on the floor for the Railers: Titus Cannon, Isaiah Bowers, Tate Sloan, Ben Grunder, and Drew Bacon. Railers with the basketball as we start the second half. Titus along the right side to the wing to Grunder. Isaiah catches, fakes one way, then the other, kicks back out to Sloan. Tate on the right side to Bacon. 45 seconds gone by in the third quarter.
Kind of tough to, Morton puts a little bit of pressure on you, but not much past the three-point line, so it's really tough to get those backdoor plays. Something we haven't seen in 2 games, and we almost religiously saw that backdoor to Bowers every game. Here it might be right now.
Titus, that's out to Isaiah. Isaiah spins in the lane, little high floater, won't get the roll. Ball tipped around and comes down to the hands of Tucker Ruggard for Morton.
Well, nice defensive effort there in the first possession of the game for Morton. They come back and nail a 3, so a big stop on one end and come down and make this a 10-point game on the other.
Noah Steffen right in front of the Morton bench. And that was about as quick as their first three in the first quarter. They got down court, didn't take any time, first open shot, and they took it. That might be something that's something they need to look at as far as their scoring.
Quicker. Yeah, I think they just tried to take a little too much time off the clock, and the Railer defense was able to set through and get a lot of those turnovers.
24-14. Cannon now out to Sloan. Tate at the top of the key, hands off to Grunder. Down in the corner, Titus. Thinking about a three, instead back out and out of Bowers. If it makes sense, Josh, there's a lot of movement for the Railer offense, but they seem stagnant.
Yeah, just not a lot of attempts to the hoop. You talk about the Morton Potters, who were around that three-point perimeter a lot during the first half. It's been the Railers now that have just kind of stand and weave and cut and don't get really a lot of things going to the hoop.
Titus with the drive along the baseline, and he's fouled by Jarrett Kreider. His first on Morton. Second foul for Morton of the game. Tate throws it into Drew, who's wide open in the corner, and I think Drew was thinking shot first, and it went right through his hands, off his foot, and out of bounds.
Man, we've seen some rough third quarters for the Railers, and this one has gotten off to a bad start here. A couple stops for the Potters, and now their second possession. The first was a three.
Kreider tries to drive down the lane, and that foul I think is going to be on Tate Sloan as he grabbed him right before he got to the timeline. First on Sloan, first on the Railers. Morton will inbound on the baseline. Swing it out to Steffen. Hands to Kreider, the lefty. You've got Tate on top of the Railer defense. Underneath, an offensive foul is going to be whistled on Morton. Pass went down into the low block, but there was Drew Bacon to take that charge.
Potter fans didn't like it. What does 1450.com call that? The old man wave or throwaway? I mean, when they get mad at the officials. I saw a few of those over from the Potter fans over there.
5 minutes to go in the third. Railers are looking for the first points in the second half. Tate comes around the screen, and they're going to get Titus again for an illegal screen. And the look of bewilderment of all the coaches on the Lincoln staff, and that's the second time Titus has been called for that. It's now also Titus's third foul of the game, so Titus is going to head to the bench. Jermaine Hamlin will come in.
So you go from one coaching staff that didn't like the charge call. Now you go to the other end. One coaching staff didn't like the illegal screen call. So
I've heard theory that if both coaches are upset, the officials are doing a good job. Double team from Bowers and Bacon. Tries to spin out of it. Picked up his dribble into the hands of Tate Sloan. And then he tried to hand it to Isaiah and throw it right back to Morton. Kreider down the lane, contact, and he's going to go to the line, and he'll be shooting two. And if that's on Drew,
I think it is.
If that's on Drew, that'll be his third. So Titus with three, Bacon with three, Kreider at the line. He'll have two free throws. First one on the way is up and good. Isaac Dewberry will check in for Bacon. So let's see how the Railers handle this rotation with Dewberry, Grunder, Hamlin, Bowers, and Sloan, with Bacon and Cannon on the bench with foul trouble. Second one on the way. That one good as well. Morton has climbed within 8. 4.5 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, Railers yet to score here in the third.
24-16. Out to Hamlin. Haven't ran that play where we try and get Jermaine a dunk. Jermaine in the lane, turns one way, goes the other, off the glass, won't go down. But Jermaine with a good move, and that's going to send him to the line, shooting two.
Boy, if I'm over there on the Railer staff, I'm saying throw it to Jermaine almost every time. The offense has just been stagnant. It's one of those nights where it's a tough Chatham-like man-to-man defense where you can't cut, you can't get a lot going to the rim. You know, plant my big boy down on the block as Jermaine misses the first free throw and let him go to work and get some easy baskets. You know, people can cut off of him. He's probably going to get several times where he's got easy layups. He's got a heck of a size advantage, and we've seen in the last, as Jermaine hits the second, we've seen him really, really do a good job of making some moves in the last couple games. I think I go to him almost every time down the court now.
25-16, ball loose on the floor. There's a scrum at midcourt, and Isaiah comes out with it, just ripped it away. Bowers up to Grunder along the right wing. Ben's going to go strong to the basket. High off the glass, no. Ball loose, picked up by Morton. Railers couldn't convert on that one. Morton comes down, trailing by 9. Kreider drives in, lots of contact. Bowers with the steal. I sometimes think Kreider goes in with not really a plan with what he's going to do with the basketball.
Yeah, and then you see the worst part is you see 6'9" shot blocker coming at you once you get in there. So if you don't have a good idea, then you got him coming at you, and you really don't want to do. Jeez.
Bullet pass from Dewberry to Hamlin, who dunks it in.
Yeah, nice bullet pass. And, you know, a great finish, but probably the best part of that, Jeff, was the catch. I mean, that's an Antonio Brown catch from a wide receiver. I mean, that was a bullet from Dewberry from the top of the key, and we've seen Jermaine struggle with catching the basketball. Not on that one.
3 on the way. Jermaine with the rebound. Lincoln on top, 27-16. Under 3 minutes left here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, why not go right back to him, Jeff? We've gotten foul trouble, or we've gotten 2 free throws and a dunk the last 2 times we've gone to Jermaine. Give it to him again. Throw it in there, Isaac.
Isaac on the side with Jermaine. Now to Sloan. Back over to Grunder. Bowers. Well, and just having a post presence like that makes the other 4 even more dangerous on the floor. Bowers drives in, won't go down. And Isaiah's going to go to the line, and he'll be shooting too.
We've talked about it in years past where when we've really struggled to get a basket, we've not had that low post presence to get some sort of an easy score. I mean, that's a, you know, earlier that was just a simple pass down to Jermaine. The guy falls off of him and he dunks it. I mean, we just haven't had that in years past. And Jermaine gives us a big presence in there now.
Isaiah at the line shooting 2. He misses the first, and the Railers had been doing pretty well from the free throw line. But tonight, Josh, they are struggling early on here, 1 of 5.
Yeah.
Railers on top, 27-16. Second one from Bowers. That one's off the back of the rim, no good. The Grunder tips it back out to Bowers. Bowers pulls up from 14. That in and out, and I think they're going to get Dewberry coming over the back.
Yeah, you like the hustle and the go to it as Dewberry did there. Went over the back, but again, I'll take that kind of foul over a reach-in foul or something out top, way out top where
the 60 feet from the basket fouls.
Yeah, right. You know, just a guy going hard after an offensive rebound you love to see.
Double team by Sloan and Grunder. Timeout taken by Morton. 2:05 to go in the third quarter. Lincoln on top, 27-16. Just a 30-second timeout. Gives us the chance to say thank you to the folks at the Carpet House, Lincoln College, and St. Clara's Manor for their sponsorship this year of Lincoln Railer basketball. And Josh, you've watched it, you've played it, you've coached it. It's amazing how many teams the Railers play that end up in that corner stuck in a trap.
Yeah, you see it a lot. And, you know, and this is a team that's somewhat senior laden as far as Morton goes. I mean, they've started 3 seniors and 2 juniors, so some guys with some experience. And, you know, we can't be the only team that plays the 1-2-2 that they play. So, you know, they practiced against it. May not have had a lot of practice because they're probably getting ready for their game last night against their conference foe, but still had probably a walkthrough today. And Coach Frank said, stay out of there. And they didn't listen.
3 from the right corner by Eric Hansen is up and good. Give him credit because he got that over the outstretched arm of Jermaine Hamlin. It's 27-19. Grunder's going to drive to the basket. Lots of contact. Foul's going to be whistled. I'm sure the Morton folks are going to want to charge.
He's not going to like this once they count it either.
Count the basket. Count the basket by Grunder. I think they were wanting the charge, but the foul came before Ben made contact with the defender.
Yeah, it might have been the right call, but it's a tough call because Ben went flying into a guy that was taking a charge. And a nice drive by Grunder, a much-needed drive and bucket by the senior.
Foul on Stefan, his first free throw. That one's missed. Rebound comes down to Morton. 1 of 7 from the line for the Railers tonight. Railers up 29-19, minute and a half to go in the third. Olden, they swing it around. Stefan's three on the way, back of the rim, no good. Jermaine couldn't grab the rebound, flips it up toward the basket, does Morton. Grunder had it. And then just like we're going to see in the Super Bowl a week from tomorrow, he hiked it to somebody and nobody was there to catch it. Right between his legs.
A fumble right out of bounds. And those are the things I thought the Railers last night, Jeff, did really well, grabbing all the loose balls. They were on the floor. Not only did we dive on the floor for them, but we also grabbed them when we needed to.
Three up and good from the corner.
So you give that loose ball up there, and now you give up a three-point shot, go in for Morton. So a big turn of events there for the Railers.
29-22. Morton now within 7. We're under a minute to go in the third.
Throw it to him.
Dumps it down to Jermaine. Jermaine back out to Bowers. Fakes baseline, pulls it back out. Dumps it down to Jermaine. Jermaine strong off the glass, counted, and he is fouled. Boy, he gave it back to Isaiah. Isaiah pulled up like he was going to shoot it. The defenders all turned looking for the rebound. He just dumped it down to Jermaine, and Jermaine got it off.
Jermaine's man came off of him and off of Jermaine and contested the shot to Isaiah, and Isaiah would have gotten a shot blocked if he had not passed it. And I'll tell you what, that was a good job by Jermaine of keeping his eyes on the ball. A lot of times, an offensive rebounder or a big guy is taught once that shot, it looks like it's going to be attempted, he puts his eyes on the rim to go look for the ball. He watched that thing all the way until Isaiah was able to get it to him. And again, nothing but good things happen when we get it down to Jermaine.
Jermaine misses the free throw. Morton comes down. Try to split a double team, and another steal comes away from Tate Sloan. 25 seconds to go. Railers on top by 9, 31-22 as we near the end of the third. Isaiah holds over to Grunder. We're down to 10.
Yeah, I've got to go now.
Bowers.
Coach wants one-on-one and see if Isaiah can get to the basket. And
down to 2-1. Got to get something up. Bowers jumper won't go, but he is fouled and will go to the line as the third quarter ends. Foul on Kreider, his second, 7th team foul, and so Isaiah will be shooting 2 free throws. First free throws have not been Lincoln's friend so far here tonight.
Yeah, it'd be nice to knock down a couple here. Railers just up 9. Obviously no time left here in the third, but we have not. Bowers with the first one goes in. Not shot it well from the free throw stripe.
2 of 9 right now.
Big ones.
3 of 10 as he gets them both, and that'll be our score as we head to the third. Lincoln on top by 11. Lincoln 33. Morton 22. Back with the fourth in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
4-8, 7-1-2-9.
We get ready to start the fourth quarter by saying thank you to Grimaldi Law Office for their sponsorship of Lincoln basketball this season. Morton the basketball down 11 as we start the fourth. Their best quarter of the night, scoring 11, but they were only able to shave
coming back
a couple points off the lead. Dump it in, ball's kicked, it'll stay with Morton. On the floor for the Railers, you've got Jermaine Hamlin, Isaac Dewberry, Ben Grunder, Tate Sloan, Isaiah Bowers, Titus Cannon and Drew Bacon on the bench, both with 3 fouls. Morton looking to inbound. They get it out to Kreider. 3 from the right side is on the way, and that's up and good. Count it for Grant Goodman.
Well, they've answered some shots now. I mean, the Railers have been able to stay up that 10, 11-point lead, and they have had their answer.
Grunder in the lane from about 10 feet is up and good. Railers answer back. Lincoln lead back to 10. Also something to keep an eye on. Railers are in the bonus. Lots of contact underneath. Morton throws it away into the arms of Isaiah Bowers.
Contact.
Sloat wide open for that high arcing three. Missed it badly. Dewberry couldn't grab the rebound, and it'll go back to Morton.
That would have been 15 yards for sure at the other sport because Jermaine just plowed that guy, and that was right in front of the official. I'm not sure. Oh, no.
Looks like the Railers had a tip away steal in a basket, but a foul's going to be whistled. And that'll go against Isaiah Bowers, his first 15 foul. As I was going to say earlier, 17 fouls on Morton. So the Railers will be shooting free throws the rest of the night. And in the first 3 quarters, they're 3 out of 10. 7 minutes to go in the game. Byrne down in the corner. Gudeman, and that's way off. Hit the side of the backboard. That was not very Gudeman.
No, that wasn't good at all.
Dewberry on top to Bowers. Behind the back dribble. Pull back from 15, won't go. Jermaine couldn't grab the rebound. Trickles out of bounds. Last touch by Morton. And the indication of who touched it last may have been Jermaine because Jermaine started heading the other way. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to get the ball back.
So I think he felt he was the last one to get it.
It might have been that makeup call from the last foul on Isaiah because that wasn't a foul. That was a clean tip away that would have led to 2 points because I'm pretty sure Sloan would have had that right after that.
6.5 to go. Inbound Isaac Dewberry, who finds an opening and lays it up and in. Isaac in double figures now with 10.
Yeah, nice body control and strength there by Dewberry. He got hit a couple times, not only on the drive, but also on the finish. And you just see that sophomore strength and athleticism.
37-25. Lincoln still up by 12. Morton's tried to get back in this, but very similar to last night, Josh, where Muhammad just could never put anything together that made you feel comfortable like they were going to make a run.
Yeah, they have, and they've just taken possessions. But their scoring positions have been right after the Railers have scored. So, obviously, when you're up now 10 points, you can't do that. You've got to get stops on this end if you're Morton, and so far the Railers have been able to answer the scores of Morton, too.
Burns jumper from 15. As Josh said, cuts it to 10 at 37-27.
I wouldn't go away from going to Mr. Hamlin, though. He's had his way down low.
Isaiah in the right corner. Looks to go baseline, now back out to Dewberry. 5.5 to go.
Throw it to him.
Jermaine, lots of contact, no call as the Morton defender went down. Back out to Bowers. Ben's going to make a move. Contact, bump, and Ben will go to the line, shooting bonus. More the Morton fans got to go, what do we got to do to get a foul?
Yeah. 17 fouls on Morton. Now Ben Grunder's going to head to the line for one and a bonus. Railers up 37-27 with 5:11 left here in the game. Senior steps to the line. Railers so far on the night just 3 of 10. Is that what you got, Jeff?
3 of 10. Grunder's free throw on the way, up and good.
Well, it's winning time now, so erase what has happened earlier on in the game, and if you make them from here on out, I like our chances to come home victorious here tonight.
Ben's second one rolls off no good, so the lead stays at 11, 38-27.
And if the past possessions of the game have told us anything, that Morton will get a score here because we've been up 11 several times and they've been able to answer and keep that within an 8 to 10 to 11 point lead. So 16 fouls now on the Railers.
Yep, 6. That was the second on Isaac Dewberry. 5:02 to go. Morton so far held to just 27 points.
And you see Morton starting to screen a little bit more now against the
Isaiah with the steal. Cannon almost grabbed it, but Morton corrals it. Kreider in the right corner, his 3, back of the rim, no. And Jermaine comes out with the rebound. And then Jermaine's going to get whistled 4 steps. Jermaine was leaning when he got that rebound, and he was doing everything he could to keep his pivot foot. I'm not sure if he got any help, but it just, when Jermaine, as big as he is, when he drags that pivot foot, they're usually not going to get the call.
You're right, and his long jump is a little bit longer than most guys' long jump. So when he was going, it's hard to get that big body stopped, and he probably had a little help from a guy wearing a red uniform. But again, those are the rebounds he's got to be able to make and come down with.
Foul's going to be whistled on Jermaine. as Byrne did a nice little head fake. Jermaine went up. Basket went down. So count the basket for Byrne. Jermaine now with his third, 7th team foul on the Railers. And Byrne makes this. It's down to an 8-point game again.
Yeah, Byrne, nice player inside, 6'6" senior. Nice post moves underneath, misses the free throw.
So we stay at 38-29. 4.5 to go. Cannon quickly into the front court on the right side to Grunder. On top now to Isaiah. Back to Isaiah. Underneath Jermaine for the easy dunk.
Yeah, can't leave him open. That's one guy you don't want to leave open if you're Morton. And I'll tell you what, another nice pass to a cutting, or not really, just a standing Hamlin in the corner.
This side of three is no good. Rebound tipped around. Isaac Dewberry comes out, puts it to Isaiah Bowers. Railers up 40-29, halfway through the fourth.
Well, for me, Jeff, it's Hamlin or layup. I mean, just keep going, keep feeding the guy that's gotten you there.
Grunder back out to Cannon. Now on top to Bowers.
Railers back with that 11-point lead, 40-29 with 3:40 left here in the fourth.
Underneath the Bowers, Isaiah a little fadeaway, shoots up an air ball. Jermaine tracks it down, back out to Cannon. Timeout taken by Coach Neil Alexander. 3:32 left in the fourth quarter. Just a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. Lincoln on top, 40-29. Gives us the chance to say thanks to Lincoln Dare and Officer Christy Fruget and the Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois, helping us bring you Railer basketball this year.
I think that was a timeout to remind Isaiah, the senior, you're a senior. That's not the shot we want.
Time and score.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. And credit Hamlin with a big offensive rebound there. But, guys get caught up and kind of forget about the moment of what's going on. Obviously, a fade away from the baseline at 15 feet is not the shot you want when you're in the bonus. You're up 11 with 3:30 left, and I think Coach had to quickly remind him that you do that again, you may not be out there much longer.
I mean, there's 3.5 to go, and Morton's capable of putting up points, and you don't want to give them anything to make them feel like they've got any hope.
Well, and I don't think Morton's capable of stopping you as far as if you want to hold the ball for a minute and a half, you probably can. They just don't have the athletes and the speed to play you man-to-man and really worry you as far as handling the basketball and turning it over. So
no use helping him, just like Ben Grunder did there as he turns it over, and then Jermaine swats it out of bounds. Morton has got 3:14 to get back in this one, down 40-29 to the Railers. Get inbounds. Byrne backing at the top of the key over to Kreider. His three, back of the rim, no, and there's Titus Cannon high for the rebound.
Well, I haven't seen him much tonight. Just saddled with foul trouble has been Cannon pretty much the whole night, and one of the stars from that big win last night was him. So a different tale of two nights, what foul trouble can do for you.
Dewberry over to Cannon, 2:45 to go. Railers up 11. Grunder being watched by Hansen. Now over to Titus. Cannon along the right sideline, hands to Bowers. Isaiah will back it out near the timeline.
Again, you can't hold it for that long, but you can sure keep attacking and handle the ball a little bit.
Bad pass, and then a foul as Grunder tried to track it down. That will go against Gudeman, his second, 9th team foul, and Grunder back at the line shooting one in bonus. Tate Sloan will be checking in here in a moment, and he will check in for Dewberry. So Hamlin, Bowers, Sloan, Cannon on the floor for the Railers, as well as Grunder at the line. Ben's free throw on the way is good. Ben now in double figures. Railers have 3 in double figures tonight. Second one. That one in and out.
And right there, Jermaine with 9. So you're flirting with 4 guys in double figures, and that's a really nice stat line for a varsity basketball team.
And the funny thing is, those are the only players that have scored tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, they tried to get it to Byrne, and Titus Cannon's right there for the interception.
18 turnovers now for the Potters.
2:05 to go. Titus over to Sloan. Under 2 minutes to go. Railers up by 12. Bowers down the lane, and he lost it going up. And they're going to say last touched. And the official from the near side is going to come in, and he's going to say that it was last touched by Morton, or are they going to say it was last touched by the Railers?
By Bowers, I think.
It was interesting that the official on the baseline said it was Morton, and then the sideline official came over, and usually they're going to say, I saw something different.
Yeah, and maybe said, did you see, are we all the way through that? Did you see it all the way through? And the baseline official thought he did.
All righty. 41-29, 1:50 to go.
Still a lot of time if you're Morton with those travel.
I think the Railers are going to turn this defense up here in the next minute or so and really take Morton any of their chances away.
Yeah, and it's a big possession, I think, if you're Morton, too. Just a minute 30 left. They need a score here.
Byrne goes down the lane, missed the layup. Rebound to the Railers.
A lot of fouls here for Morton and or layups. The Railers are in.
Isaiah with free throws coming as he went down the lane and he was grabbed. Isaiah's going to get 2 as we're in the double bonus now. Foul on Olden, so Isaiah at the line. 4-2. 41-29. Free throw on the way, in and out. Isaiah 2 of 5 so far tonight from the line. Second one on the way. That one rolls good. 42-29, 80 seconds left. Ball's knocked out of bounds by the Railers as Kreider was trying to get it across the timeline. Grunder got in his way. Olden back to Kreider. Kreider kicks back out. Gudeman's long 3, back to the rim, no. Rebound, tracked down by Cannon. Head to Bowers all by himself for the layup.
He wanted to dunk it, I think. Or he's going to try anyway, but again, a nice steal by the Railer defense now.
And then Grunder's going to get whistled for the tackle.
Yeah, 19 turnovers for Morton, which that gives the Railers now a 15-point lead with 56.9 seconds left here.
Railers' biggest lead of the night, under a minute. Zach Byrne, the 6'6 senior. First free throw on the way, missed it. Rebound down to Hamlin. See how Morton plays it.
7 rebounds tonight for Jermaine. Nice stat line for Jermaine. 9 points, 6 rebounds.
Bowers down the lane. And he's fouled, and he'll go to the line shooting 2 more.
And I think if you're Coach Alexander, you're probably really happy with what you've gotten out of Jermaine in the last 2 games against 2 really competitive basketball teams in Morton and Muhammad Seymour. I think you start to see, and I think it's one of the questions I'll ask Coach in the post game is how much more confidence do you have in the last several games, 2 weeks, a month maybe, in Jermaine? And how much does your team have a little more confidence in him?
Bowers gets the first one to go down. And now Morton's kind of waved the white flag as they've subbed in some of their bench players.
And it's funny to think you look back at a Washington team that was, I thought better than this Morton team. And it's funny how things happen on game nights, Jeff. Morton was a winner over Washington earlier in this classic, 53-49 back on January the 19th, and we had all kinds of trouble with Washington. At one time we were down 16, made a comeback, and then they end up beating us by 9 in the overtime. So I think we talked about early on, man, what a nice, well-rounded, other than what Canton was really able to bring to the table, it's been a well-rounded classic.
36 seconds to go. Railers on top 45-29. Free throw is up and off, no good from Morton. Also, Railers subs in Caden Froby, Cam Whiteman, Noah Funk, Will Ewald, Drayden Posgay, all getting in for this final 30 seconds. Of course, it's going to kill their scoring average.
Well, and you normally see who the brave sophomore is on who's the one that comes out and shoots it at this time. You know, if you got any guts here, we'll find out who the guy is on the sophomore team that's got a little bit of it, because they'll come out and fire one up. I'm not sure we're going to get one tonight with just 5 seconds left, but Railer sophomores were victorious again, Jeff, tonight. So 51-24, the Railer sophomores were victorious. They've had a heck of a season. That's the final. The Railers 45 and the Potters 29. I guess we'll have to find out from Coach Alexander how the tiebreaker will handle.
Railers improve to 16-5 with the win. Morton falls to 15-8. As Josh said, Railers get the win here tonight. Final of 45-29. We'll be back with the Josh Komnick Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic Center postgame show in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball. Indeed. Joined now by Lincoln coach Neil Alexander. Coach, congratulations on the win. You talked about it last night. The way the Railers played, came away with a big win over in Mahomet. Really meant nothing if they came out tonight and didn't bring that same intensity and get the win. Thought the first half was very good. Seemed like the offense got a little stagnant for some of the third quarter, but the defense, it's been showing up more and more, and that's the one reliable thing this team has right now.
Well, and I thought we played very good defense again tonight. I thought offensively we had some mistakes that we can't make, but fatigue sets in and then you have problems. So you got to make sure you condition well so you can play back-to-back games. So the thing about it, when you get into the state tournament, the only time you play back-to-back is if you make it to the Final Four. So, and that'd be nice. I'd take that opportunity.
Indeed.
Well, Coach, too, tonight, with that aggressive defense, sometimes comes along with a little more foul trouble. We saw a little bit of it last night, a little bit of it with tonight again. Bacon, I think Cannon saddled with some foul trouble. Didn't see a lot of him tonight, so it's a good thing you got a few more guys on the bench that can come up and bring up that, if someone does get in foul trouble, you got some guys to turn to.
Yeah, we got rotations that we can use, and we're pretty deep on the bench. Even our sophomores, if they have to get in there, the thing they would be lacking would be strength, but skill-wise they would be okay. But we got different types of rotations that we can use. Some are better than others, and you try to find the ones that are going to be productive.
Coach, you talked about one of those sophomores who got into the game very, very quickly tonight, Isaac Dewberry. And if any of the sophomores wouldn't have as much of an issue with that strength issue, it's Isaac. He's quite the athlete, and he came in and gave you a big lift off the bench with a quick 8 points tonight.
Yeah, I thought he had a great game. He was wasn't as sharp as he was last night. So I thought he'd come out and gave us a big lift there. And he had a couple big shots, and we kept trying to find him some more, but he was very patient. Last night I thought he took a couple bad shots. Didn't say anything to him, so that's really good that he kind of realized what happened, and he kind of corrected it tonight. And he went after a rebound down there, and if you can get him to go after it every time, we got a great rebounder, because he's so explosive.
Coach Jeff talked a little bit about that offense, got a little bit stagnant in the third quarter and some of the fourth, and really I think maybe the guy that you went to, and I don't know if it was by choice or by design, or the guys just didn't feel like they had anything else to go to, but they threw it into Jermaine. And Jermaine, I think, a couple scores in a row, and then got to the foul line a couple times, and then we were able to drive and kick to Jermaine for a dunk or two. Do you find yourself getting a little more confidence? Do you see that your guys are getting a little more confidence in Jermaine, not only to score the basketball, but ultimately the first thing to do is to catch it?
Well, and if you remember back to the tournament, Thanksgiving, how he had trouble catching it, and I think he's catching the ball pretty consistently right now.
Well, tonight he caught that rocket from
Dewberry. But I think it is either catch it or get hurt.
And if you can catch that, you can catch most passes.
Yeah, and we've worked with him catching the ball, but I think he's just maturing, and strength, get strength in his forearms where his fingers are just like spikes and things and so forth. And when he does that, the catching's going to come. And, as he grows and gets stronger, he's going to be able to do a lot more things. And, there's a lot of upside to that young man.
And Coach, like what Josh talked about with you having confidence, his teammates having confidence in him, probably the most important thing is Jermaine's got to trust himself.
Yeah, and he's got to be ready to play. And I thought he had 2 big games back to back, and that's really big for him. I thought, he played well last night. Will that big body be able to respond to another game tonight? And I thought he'd come out and give us a lift.
Coach, so the Railers in Washington tie at 3-1 in the Central Illinois Midwinter Classic. You had talked about when this tournament would go through and champion would be named. Is it head-to-head as which decides the tiebreaker?
It's head-to-head. If it was a 3-way tie, and there's some older people out there my age and things, we use it in our summer league. But if you go back to the old CBA, Continental Basketball League, they kept score. Their standings was kept by quarters. If you won the quarter,
right,
you got a point. So there was really four quarters. So you had 4 points there. And if you won the game, you got another point. So we did it by halves. If it had been a 3-way tie, then you take the box scores and you divide it down by halves, and you get a point for a half, each half, and then a point for the win.
Gotcha.
Then you would have had a winner that way. So we didn't have to use that. We knew going into the game that if Morton won, they won the tournament. If we won, Washington won the tournament, and there was no such name as Lincoln. And our guys got to understand, you got to come out and play, and we didn't play first half last Saturday, which cost us a championship.
Right, and that's the one you said you talked about, is that was one that you felt that got away as well.
We fought back, tied it, but we should have never fought back. We should have been in control of that game from the start, and but that's good for our guys. We got to be able to handle things. I thought we bobbled the ball. I thought we made some unforced turnovers, which you can't do. But our guys, they fought through it.
Coach, a good week for Lincoln. A very busy week. Got the win at Canton. Got the win last night in Mahomet. Get the win here. I have to say that this is the best case scenario. Get all 3 wins and played 3 different styles of teams. And no matter how you did offensively, we talked about, the defense was the winning point in each of the games.
Oh, no doubt. I thought our defense was very good this week. We've emphasized it. We've emphasized rebounding, and we will continue to emphasize the rebounding and so forth. Because if we're going to do anything, first of all, we got to rebound, but second of all, we got to make free throws.
Yep, 7 of 18 tonight's what we had.
Ain't going to get you anywhere. It's just not, and unfortunately we made more field goals than they did tonight, but in a close game you don't win if you can't make free throws.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win here tonight, and the Railers back in action again coming up on Friday night, back home here against Mattoon before a week from tonight, making a long trip up to Rock Island.
Yeah, we'll have another conference game, and then we get to go on the road to Rock Island, and that's a nice place to play. And, we'll go up there and see what happens. But like we said all along, our non-conference schedule is as good as it's been, maybe since I've been here. We didn't have to, we had to worry about trying to find really top quality teams to play to prepare us for the championship or the regional. And we outdid ourselves, I think.
Coach, congratulations on the win here tonight, and we'll see you back here Friday night as Mattoon comes in.
Okay, thank you.
Railers get the win here tonight, 45-29. We'll wrap it up in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Lincoln Railer Basketball on 96.3 WLCN and WLCNonline.com is brought to you by Grau Incorporated, Schneider Chiropractic, Headline Salon, Lincoln Heating and Cooling, Fifth Street Food Mart, Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois, The Carpet House, Rickham State Farm Insurance, Lincoln IGA, Lincoln College, Bright Ideas Screen Printing and Embroidery, St. Clair is Manor, Lincoln Park District, Grimaldi Law Office, Memorial Sports Care at Abraham Lincoln Memorial Hospital, Jim Examus Ford Lincoln, Stacy's Family Pharmacy, Lincoln Dare, Eaton Corporation, Abraham Lincoln Memorial Hospital, Lincoln Printers, Chicago Street Rentals, and by Four Corners Lube.